I guess I just, I mean, you're welcome.
Here's your hosts of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster Jack and Ryan.
We're going to Impact, which we don't talk about often, but this was a significant thing right here. Mickie James and Josh Alexander both got hurt and both had to relinquish their titles, dude.
That's
What kind of
unlucky.
bad luck, Extreme Warfare Revenge type shit is this, dude?
Somebody played a injury card. Man, that's super unlucky. That sucks. We talk about how derailed AEW got from Punk being out and then Elite getting also kicked out at that same time, and it feels pretty similar to that. Like, you just fucked up the entire top of your card. This one, you know, it's a little bit less intentional, but Jesus, that's...
Yeah, Mickie James just ended up beating, I think she beat Jordan Grace, possibly, in the title versus career match or whatever it was.
It's so dark in here.
So then she got to keep the title or whatever, and then you turn around and get hurt or whatever, and you got to drop it anyway. Ooh, that's fucking brutal. Josh Alexander, who was on a nice run with the title again, he drops it. Man, that's not great. And they just had a really loud and invested crowd in Canada. I don't know if anybody saw the clip of Scott D'Amore fucking doing the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, the fans were fucking hyped though. Like they need more of those types of audiences, honestly, in Impact, because that really helps with the product when you're watching it. That shit at Universal or whatever, or the Impact Zone, or wherever the fuck they film their shit now. If they're back in Tennessee, I don't know where the fuck they are anymore. But that crowd, when you got the same studio fucking crowd all the time, and they're already used to seeing that shit every week or multiple tapings in a row, and they're fucking dead, does not come off well on TV at all, and does not help you get invested. But that crowd in Canada though, for that Sacrifice show, that was insane.
There was an interesting conversation the other day about sort of the same idea. Like, you've got crowds that are, it's the same people all the time at the same crowd. They were talking specifically about Dark. So Dark, they used to not charge for people to go in and watch Dark. And apparently Jeff Jarrett was like, well, that's fucking stupid. Charge them like 10, 20 bucks, whatever, and then you'll get different people coming in. It's not the same people every time who just come to have something to do that day. You'll have people that actually want to be there, who aren't just using it to kill a day. And there'll be more hype, you get more mixed people in, whatever. And apparently the atmospheres have been better since that started, so... Yeah, I mean, I think
no one said you had to charge an arm and a leg, but some people are so cheap that they're like, nah, I don't want to pay for that, or I can't do that every week or whatever, and then somebody else will be like, well, I can go ahead and fit this show in. That'd be a cool little fucking thing to do, because that's pretty much like taking you and your friend to the movies, right? I mean, movies fucking cost a shit ton of money now, so if you're going to spend $20 a ticket, and you can watch a wrestling show, or a couple of wrestling shows, then yeah, you go fucking do that, and then you bounce out and have somebody else come in, and then you can still make revenue to the point where you're offsetting running the show, or possibly even pay some of the talents that were there without having to dip into a fund that was getting blasted, because you're basically just losing money for running Dark. Because they're really the only revenue they were making was YouTube ads, right? During those types of shows. So, no, I totally agree with Jeff Jarrett on that. No one said you had to fucking charge $200 to get into a fucking Dark elevation. But, you know, $10, $20, it's still going to create some kind of fucking rotation in and out between the fans. So yeah, I think that's a good move too.
Yeah.
But back to this. This is not good. I mean, at least you got Jordan Grace to fall back in the women's division. But who are you falling back on Josh Alexander not having the title? It sure the hell ain't Bully Ray. So
maybe it is.
Man, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God.
You know, actually, before we get to that real quick, I kind of wanted to talk about this when I saw it. I want to get your thoughts on it. I kind of already know what your thoughts on it are, but just to throw this out there. If Tony Khan had been caught on video at a post show doing a fucking Canadian Destroyer on somebody, do you think the reaction to that would have been nearly as positive, or like finding it as interesting as when Scott D'Amore did it?
Zero chance.
Zero fucking chance. Why is that?
Because people hate AEW for existing.
Yeah, weird, right?
Literally hate them for existing. TNA, at the time, hated so much because of what Hogan and Bischoff did to that fucking company, and then Dixie Carter as well. She's not absolved, obviously. They fucking ran that company into the ground so bad, right, that they're still not fully recovered from it.
I mean, it's
And
still part of the reason I don't
know
watch
if they
them.
ever will be. But yes, Scott D'Amore comes in. He's doing a great job, whatever. But they're still pretty much a fucking Ring of Honor sized thing, right?
Yeah.
He shows up on TV just as much. Actually, he shows up more on TV than Tony Khan does. All right? Because Tony Khan has more money and a bigger product and bigger wrestlers. God forbid he goes out there and does it. But fucking forget Scott. Why aren't we talking about when fucking Vince used to come out and he had a whole goddamn character every fucking week and 18 segments on the show? No one was bitching about that.
It was me.
Him
Austin.
versus Austin was the biggest fucking rivalry in wrestling. What are you talking about? Why would it be such a bad fucking... Man, you already knew I was going to go off on this. Why would it be such a fucking bad idea if fucking Tony Khan came in and did a Canadian Destroyer through a ladder like Penta on somebody? Who gives a fuck? I don't care. If you didn't care back then, why the fuck would you care now, dude?
It makes the business look bad. It's different. Vince McMahon was huge. Tony Khan's little.
The Authority, and let's talk about more modern. The Authority. The Authority fucking took up so much goddamn TV time, it was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
And no one said shit about that. I mean, I'm sure they complained about them being on TV or whatever, but it wasn't to the extent that it would be if Tony Khan hit a Canadian Destroyer. You're not gonna hear Jim Cornette bitch about fucking Scott D'Amore fucking hitting a Canadian Destroyer. You're just not gonna do it.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, somebody will see. I won't, because I don't listen to that fucking idiot. But someone will see.
Hey guys, did you like that video? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also catch full episodes of the MonsterCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also catch us live every Sunday on Twitch. All links in the description below, along with some sweet merch from yours truly, the MonsterCast. Deuces.